Welcome. We're back. How's everybody doing? Pretty interesting day in the market. I mean, actually pretty uninteresting day in the market, honestly. Morning was all right. Things started off okay, right around open. Then about like an hour and a half into the day, we got like a little bit of a dip. Then for like pretty much most of the afternoon, like nothing happened. It was one of the lowest volumes afternoons I've like ever seen. Like I was looking at like 20 charts, all of them had like insanely low volume in the afternoon. And then like really to wrap up the day, the market did rally at the end. S&P saw new all-time highs. Nasdaq went up. Nasdaq was up 1%. Same for QQQ, pretty much like the same. And yeah, we're gonna get to everything. On the flip side though, Bitcoin has been falling, but look at this. So the alert that I put out on Bitcoin like 2 weeks ago was at 45K. It hit the first target, which was like 55K. It hit the second target, which was 57K, and it was like $200 away from the third target. The third target was 62,000, and the all-time high on Bitcoin was like 61.7K. So it was like just a few $100 away from the target. Pretty much the whole entire trade played out. And then if you were watching the stream last night, what did I show you all? There was bearish divergence on the daily for Bitcoin. There was triple classic bearish divergence on the 4-hour for Bitcoin. It was just being displayed by the sellers that this was very overbought up there. You know, the buyers were being exhausted. That's what the MACD was kind of forecasting last night when I showed this on stream. So at this point on Bitcoin, I'm not too sure. You still haven't even confirmed the bearish divergence on the daily. You're pretty much at session lows. It's dropping as we speak. You're pretty much at the lowest part of this pullback correction. I don't know what you want to call it, but depending on what you want to call it, of this fall, you're at pretty much the lowest point currently. Yep, right as we speak. If we zoom in, probably going like the 1 hour, just falling again. Looks like you might have bear flagged a little bit, then you broke out to the downside. So at this point, the trade already played out. I'm not too sure about what Bitcoin looks like until you get some sort of bullish variables. I don't like how it fell under 57K, which used to be your all-time high. Then you broke it, but you couldn't really hold above it on the back test. So at this point, I'm not too sure about how Bitcoin does in the short term, but of course, I mean, stimulus and everything, we'll see how that affects it. But yeah, that's Bitcoin. Looking at the S&P, pretty strong. I mean, last night on stream, I was saying it looked pretty good. Hidden bullish divergence continuing to play out. Pretty much the last 3 days in a row, you've been making a new all-time high in terms of your candle closes. So nice stuff there. S&P looks good as long as you can hold above 3930. Futures are flat again. Futures have been flat for like the last 5 sessions or something. Not a lot of movement in futures lately, even though like 2 weeks ago futures were going wild, if you remember. So yeah, that's like really, you know, what I'm thinking here. However, I was looking at the Nasdaq and the QQQ today. Looks like there could be a potential inverse head and shoulders forming, which would be great, but you'd still need to break 13.6K to, you know, confirm that. And I'm not even too sure if that right shoulder is fully developed yet. The left shoulder looked a lot better. The head looked pretty clear. Right shoulder, I mean, you could say this candle low, you could say this candle low, just kind of looks a little bit weird, but as long as you're above 13K on the Nasdaq, you're good. And if you can break over 13.6K on the Nasdaq, that would be great, because that would technically be breaking the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders. So yeah, just noticed that earlier today. And let's go recap the trades from today. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to send me a tip, check out the pinned comment in the chat. And yeah, let's go look at how the trade started off the week. So pretty good start to the week. You know, a lot of these trades were carried over from last week. The new trades from today, I posted 3 new trades today, which we're going to look at. I posted VISL, I posted RBA, and I posted AUTL. So 2 of the trades I posted today just set the entries, and then AUTL went up like 2%. DCPH was posted last Friday. That went down like 1%. BigCommerce is like from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's down 4%. It just, I don't know. It's been trying to hold that support. We're going to look at the chart. NBIO hit the target of the trade this morning. I alerted, you know, that I was thinking it's pretty much around the target area when it was up 22%, but it still hit that original target for like a 26% gain. So however you played it. XPV trades up 28%. That was alerted exactly a week ago. The Clover trade is up 25% from the first entry of the upper entry, and is up 40% since the second entry or the lower entry. And that was posted not last week, but the Friday before last week. Palantir's up 13%, Fubo 12%, FEYE had a pretty nice day, and ATRA as well. Both of those are up 8% since the entry. Beyond is up 7% since the entry, and then we already talked about the rest. So yeah, I mean, not too many trades on this sheet compared to, you know, like last week, but we'll see how the week continues. Just starting off very simple for now. Still a lot of things. I believe there's the Fed is meeting or something at some point this week, so that, you know, that's something. And then stimulus is rolling out into people's accounts. Just a lot of different things happening. And yeah, that's really the recap of the day. Let's go look at the actual trades themselves. And then before we even look at the trades, let's actually look at CCIV, which had a very nice day today. Let me go back to the other screen. So yeah, CCIV did very nicely. This one hurts a little bit, not gonna lie, and I'll show you why in a second, but congrats to those who held on. But yeah, I mean, CCIV, it was showing, I think it still is showing daily hidden bullish divergence. That was talked about on stream, that was talked about in the Discord, and I posted an entry at $23 like 2 weeks ago, really right over here on March 5th, so not even 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, like literally not right there, it was somewhere around here. I posted an entry at 23, we'll look at in a second. And really what happened, I think the entry was like right over, maybe over here or something. And really what happened was pretty much right away this trade went up 11%. Okay, so it went up 11%, but then it rejected that resistance, and then it came all the way back down to the entry. And you know, with all the market volatility, we kind of figured a couple weeks ago that on a lot of trades, if they're winning trades, we should not be letting them turn into losing trades, right? Because I always say that. So I wanted to start reflecting that in the sheet, in the trading sheet. So when it did go up 11% and come back down to the entry, yeah, the trade was technically not stopped out, but like that was like your break-even point. That's what I put on the sheet last week. And that's just, you know, again, you can never trade perfectly. You're gonna get screwed over sometimes trying to optimize your risk. But all the other times it's going to help you to manage your risk. So it's just a game of probability. Probability did not work out here. I did go a little bit lower than the original entry, and then it's just been rallying very, very nicely. That original idea played out, broke 25 bucks, that major resistance. And then this is a trade I'm talking about that I posted. Let me show you. So yeah, this was the trade. It was at $23 right when I posted it. If I hit the play button, pretty much hit the target today after hours. Like, yeah, so it would have been a 32% trade, but frustrating for sure. That's just how it goes sometimes. Congrats to those who held on. I think I said, you know, it's, I mean, even if I didn't say, it's obviously always your choice. These are just ideas. It's always up to you on exactly how you're going to be playing them, right? But just want to cover CCIV because it had a good day today, and even after hours it was up some. But with that being covered, let's go back to the charts. Okay, let me go full screen. And let's start off with Clover. I might spend some time on Clover real quick. Let's go on the daily. Clover has broken out. You know, I can show you 3 different ways Clover is broken out. So, I mean, the first way, the way that you confirm a swing low is that from your previous swing high to your swing low, if you can retrace 23% back up, which is what Clover did yesterday and today, or Friday and today, it's at that 23.6% fib retrace from the high to the low, which confirms your swing low. Also, whether you chart your supply line like this, which is how I originally did, it already broke out of that, or if you chart it based on that wick, you broke out today. So Clover broke out. You know, I was kind of looking at this like if I just take out this harmonic for a second, kind of like a descending broadening wedge. And the way that Thomas Bulkowski says to target, you know, the person who really created a lot of these patterns, he says to target literally the top of the wedge to play a descending broadening wedge. And ironically, that was also my target for the trade. Why did I target $13? Well, because that's your B point of the harmonic. And then also if we go back and use our Fibonacci, that's your golden retrace, right? From the high down to the low, that's right around your golden retrace, this bluish line right there. That's why I targeted 13. And then also if you look at it like a descending broadening wedge, that would also be the target. So I know 86% sounds insane, but it's already like halfway there. Trade's already up 40% since the PCZ. If you got in there, that was alerted in the Discord when it was at the second PCZ. Or even if you've gotten at the first PCZ, you'd be up 26% or 25%. So like, even though this looks insane, it's an 86% target. That's actually like the textbook way to target it, based off of a harmonic and also based off of a descending broadening wedge. But of course, like again, the trade's already up so much. Whenever you feel comfortable taking profits, feel free to do so. If you want to set a stop loss in profits, feel free to do so. You know, at this point, like you're already up between 25 to 40%. So it's like it's your choice on how you want to continue on playing it. You can even scale out again, however you want to do it. But if I'm being honest here, let me show you some other stuff on the Clover chart. This is the second day that your MACD is back on green on the daily, and you have not had a green MACD on the daily since literally the first week of the year. So it's been a while, right? And the last time you had a green MACD, this is the move that you saw, okay? Now let's look at some other things that I've noticed today on Clover, all right? The last 2 times that Clover was at this 45 level on the RSI is when it rallied. So let me show you that as well. So, right, let me use the vertical line, okay? So I'm looking for 45, pretty much. It's not perfect, but around like right there. Pretty much in this area, right over here, the RSI was at the same level that the RSI currently is, and you can see that's when this move eventually happened. And then even over here, let me use the vertical line, you were at 45, right? So right on this low right here, you were on 45, and then I think you went up, let's see. You went up 20% the last time that the RSI was at this level after a low. And then the first time the RSI was at this level on Clover, you went up like 70%, okay? And not only was the RSI at the same level last time you had nice runs on Clover, the volume was also at the same level. For whatever reason, the last 2 times that Clover had this like 7 million to 9 million volume is when it saw this run and then that run. So from a technical standpoint, there is a lot of variables on the chart. I mean, even if we look at like the 15 or the 5-minute chart, which again, it's a 5 minutes, it's unreliable, but again, just for argument's sake, like, you know, kind of some cup and handle stuff, right? Where you had a nice rounding bottom, then you're pulling back. So just all over the chart, it's kind of signaling that like, even though the trade's already up 40%, there could definitely be more room to the upside, even in the short term, if not the long term. So yeah, hopefully all of those things I just showed you gave you some info. But again, no matter how many things I show you on one chart, nothing is ever 100% certain. The trade's already in profit, so do whatever you have to do personally to realize that profit whenever you do. Whether you do it tomorrow, whether you turn this into a long-term trade and hold it for years, whatever choice is best for you, you do that, not financial advice. But just based on regular technicals, if the probability plays out, there's a good chance that, you know, with multiple breakouts, divergences, harmonics, yeah, I mean, you could probably see $10 pretty easily. And then if you break $10, that's where you could see the target occur after a while. Remember, this is a long-term trade. So that's really Clover. Hopefully that extended breakdown helped you. Next one, XPV, it's up like 28%. This was alerted pretty much exactly a week ago. Classic bullish divergence is now confirmed on the daily. I mean, it's just in the midst of playing out, right? Trade's already in profit. Whatever you have to do to realize your profits in whatever sort of manner, always your choice. I'm not even gonna spend that much time on it. Honestly, as long as you're above like $32 on XPV, you're good. DCPH, this is the only, aside from BigCommerce, which is like 2 or 3 weeks old, this is like the only newer trade that's down, and it's only down like 1%. So it's like a long-term trade regardless. But you still have the quadruple classic bullish divergence on the daily. You're still around the PCZ of this, what is this, like a Gartley? And yeah, I mean, as long as you can hold over $40, you're good. So again, dollar cost averaging, however you want to play it, that's that. Next one, Fubo. I think it was up like 3.5% today. The current trade on Fubo is up like 12%. I think this trade's like 5 days old or something. I think it's less. I think I actually posted at the end of last week, like Wednesday or Thursday or something. But yeah, up 12% since the entry. I believe their CEO was on CNBC from what I heard earlier today. I might be wrong. I think I just heard that somewhere. And yeah, I mean, nice start, right? Up 12%. We'll see if it can work up towards that target. For now, you're good. All right. I don't really want to spend too much time. Trades are already in profit. So, I mean, until there's a reason to I don't know, take caution, for now you're good. I mean, of course, the price can just randomly drop, but I don't really see anything that's technically signaling that for now. Unless the market has a bad day or whatever it is, or unless it just falls, right? It's all probability. Beyond broke over the 200-day moving average. Beyond was up 4% today. The trade on Beyond is up 7%. Divergence looks good on the 4-hour. And you're inches away from confirming your hidden bullish divergence on the daily. First time being over the 200-day moving average. since March 2nd. Again, looks good. Until it doesn't look good, it's fine. I don't want to spend crazy amount of time on it. ATRA, classic bullish divergence, looks good. It was up quite a bit pre-market. I think this was up like 5 or 6% pre-market, then it pulled back during the day. But the trade itself is currently up 8%. This one's been around for a minute, like maybe a couple weeks now. Again, patience. As long as you're over 16, you're good. So, nice move there. FUYE. I like any day that this closes above $20.44. I'm happy. And it had a 2% day. This was like the biggest day it's had over this support, which was once a resistance in the beginning of the trade. FUYE looks good until there's a reason for it to not to, or until the market pulls, right? So on a lot of these trades, they're looking good for right now, but anything is always possible. So manage your risk, and whenever you want to take profits, do so. There's not too much to talk about from a technical standpoint. A lot of these trades right now, it's the same exact thesis they've been for the last week. Nothing much has changed. Same thing on Palantir. Don't have much resistance until the target at this point. Trade's already up 14%. Either it hits the target or it doesn't. Drew says, yeah, he was on Closing Bell on CNBC, so I assume that's the CEO of Fubo. Big Commerce. This is the only other trade that's really down. I mean, the other trade that's down is down 1%, which is DCPH. This is the only trade that's like really down. This is down like 4.5% or something. And it's been down for like a week now. It just, it hasn't really broken the support yet, so there's still a shot. There still is a shot. As long as you're over 57.44, you're technically fine, but there's not a lot of wiggle room right here. AUTL, this was alerted today. It's up 2% since the alert. Long-term trades. So the next two trades, I'm also going to show you long-term trades. I posted 3 long-term trades today. So again, do your own fundamentals there, because obviously anything can happen fundamentally in the long term. But the technicals for the long term look pretty good. Falling wedge with triple classic bullish divergence, up like 2% since the entry. Patience, and we'll see what happens over time. This could take months. Like, literally, it's a long-term trade going for between a 44 to a 70% profit. Very nice looking falling wedge. Pretty much targeting this resistance, and then I'm also targeting the 50% Fibonacci retrace, which is how you're supposed to target a falling wedge from like a textbook standpoint. RBA, this is still at the entry pretty much. Double bottom, broke a supply line, kind of like a dragon, but not really. Just messing around with the 200-day moving average, you definitely want to break over that. So just a little bit under the entry, not even down like 1%. But that was alerted today. Another long-term trade. This is more of a, this probably, out of the 3 trades I posted today, this is like kind of like a midterm one. AUTL and VISL are like actual like long-term trades that can really take a while. This one, I mean, if it does play out, it could play out in a few weeks or a couple weeks. We'll see what happens. But pretty much just going up for these resistance areas, a little bit under it. And yeah, and then VISL. This one is for real a long-term trade, okay? This cup and handle took 200 days to be created, so maybe it takes 200 days to play out, right? I just show you right here from the start of the cup till pretty much right now. 238 days. This is a long-term trade, so again, a lot can change in 238 days, so please do your due diligence there. But pretty textbook cup and handle with hidden bullish divergence on the daily and on the 4-hour. It broke out of the handle as well, so we'll see what happens here. Again, it's a long-term trade, that's why it's a pretty out there target. 105% profit. Now, how did I get that target? Just a textbook way to do it. Measured move, right? Go from the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup, and then just place it on the breakout. Measured move, and then also 756. It's like this area where it was once support right over here, and then it was once resistance. So the target's like underneath both 756 and the measured move, just so orders can get filled or whatever. And that's the target, of course. I mean, you could definitely set up different targets. You could even take some profits if your retest like 449, which is definitely a resistance. But like, this is pretty close to a textbook cup and handle. We'll see what happens. Just a long-term trade, gonna require patience. Like 99% chance this is probably gonna take over a month to play out, okay? Not 99% chance, but there's a pretty decent chance, just based on how long the pattern took to form, unless some sort of a catalyst comes out. We already talked about CCIV, and yeah, that pretty much recaps everything. Futures are still flat. Bitcoin's pretty much at the same level at like 53, 54K now. And we already talked about the market. We talked about all the trades. So hopefully that recap was to the point and helpful. Just not too many technical updates on most of the trades. They're pretty much the same exact as they were when I posted them. Just now a lot of them are up, which is good. And yeah, that recaps today. Just again, if we look on the 4-hour, just take a look at this. All right. I want you to be looking at the volume. The volume is right over here. Look how low the volume was today. Okay, I'm just going to scroll through every single chart from the ongoing trades. All right. Just look at this volume right over there. Well, I guess I'm kind of blocking it, but look how low the volume was this afternoon. It's insane on pretty much everything I'm looking at. Low volume, low, like unusually low volume all across the board. So pretty interesting. Like these takers really never have this amount of low volume or this little of volume. And I'm going through literally my whole entire watch list and you're just seeing it. So this could be signaling some volatility in the short term, because a lot of times your volume will trade in waves where once you get like super far down, that's when you can get a big spike, and then vice versa. Usually when you go up super high in volume, that's when it'll start to fade. Just trading in waves. So wouldn't be surprised to see that volatility come back. I mean, the last few days, pretty much ever since last like Wednesday, it's just been a very quiet and steady run up for a lot of different stocks and the indexes, obviously. So again, with some potential catalysts, fundamentally, I could see either way the market can kind of go. But for now, futures bouncing a little bit. If we go on the 5-minute chart, you can see it starting to curl up a little bit on futures, even though they're still completely flat. And yeah, that really recaps everything from today. S&P futures are not an all-time high though. The actual S&P did close at an all-time high. But S&P futures are still messing with this resistance at 39.59 from the highs in the middle of February. So that's really what's going on there. I think that recaps pretty much everything from today. Oh, I forgot to show you NBIO hit the target. Even before it hit the target, it was like right here, and I kind of said in the Discord, it's pretty much around the target, okay? So nice trade on NBIO, about 22 to 25% profit in exactly 1 week. And again, I mean, do you remember how many trades hit their targets last week? Look at this. Space, boom, 28% profit. QS, 30% profit. Sundial, it was like 15%, but it could have been a lot more. Last week was awesome, and then this week we had another trade hit the target. So yeah, pretty much like I posted NBIO and Space, and I think there was an XPV. I posted NBIO, Space, and XPV last Monday, and Space and XPV pretty much went up pretty much all of them went up almost around like 25 to 30%. All three of the trades I posted last Monday went up like 25 to 30% in a week. So the people who were around in the free trading movement a week ago, I hope you got in on one, but again, it's always your choice. So those trades I posted last Monday were great. I also posted 3 new trades this Monday, but these trades are a lot more long term. The 3 trades I posted last Monday were definitely a little bit more mid-term / short term. However, the new ones I posted are more long term, so I don't know if they're gonna all go up 30% in a week, but we shall see there. Another one, so I shared the watch list with all of you going into the week. I don't know why I can't talk, I'm just tired, but I shared the watch list with all of you going into the week, and I mean, huge opens. Like literally, I didn't post any trades from the watch list until like today because I wanted to see how the market was opening. And then I woke up a little bit late this morning, and by the time I woke up, like literally pretty much most of the trades from the watch list, I put out 8 things for the watch list in the Discord. Like 6 of them when I woke up this morning were up like 5 to 10%. It was crazy. Tilray was on the watch list that I showed you last night on stream. Had a 10% day. I think there was some sort of catalyst for pot stocks today. Overstock had an 8% day, and then Velodyne had a 10% day. So I showed all of those on the watch list. However, I was not able to put out trades on them because I don't know if they gapped up pre-market or what happened, but by the time I woke up, they were already starting to run. So it's just like, you know, if you got in at the entries, because I also showed you on all of them how to trade them right last night. I put out like the risk to reward. So if you watched the stream last night, maybe you've gotten on one of these trades, but this is actually messed with today. I was going to try and put out another one. Definitely should have, just missed it. But we'll see. Again, I'm really trying to time the trades with the market. I'm really not trying to post trades when the market's like rallying. I'm trying to wait for like the dips on the market to post the trades. But however you want to do it. Yeah, let's take a look at the chat. So a little bit of quiet chat in here tonight, but we got 55 people in here, so hopefully that recap of the day was helpful. Futures are literally at 0.00% right now. Right where they opened up tonight is where they're currently at. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 40 likes real quick. Hit that subscribe button, and if you want to send me a tip or get some merchandise, that is the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. Also, you can join the Discord. We have over 1,700 members. The link for that's also in the description. And yeah, what's going on with everybody? How'd you do today? Yeah, futures have been flat. I don't know why every single night they're just flat now. But back to Clover. I mean, if you can tell, like, I don't know how many tweets I put out about Clover today. It's just like you can't even say anything. I can tweet about Clover all day because it's already up 25 to 40% since the entry. So I don't care what anybody says. That work was already done. No matter what happens at this point on Clover, which I'm still pretty optimistic, trade's already up quite a bit. I don't know. It's just every so often a trade comes around like this, and sometimes crazy things happen, right? The Fisker trade, the QS trade that first time around back in February, the UWMC trade, 51% profit. Like, there's just a handful of trades that they just come around sometimes, and there's just, I don't know. There's just like this feeling I get, and we'll see if it plays out. Okay, I'm not I don't like calling things or whatever. I just use probability. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, manage your risk, minimize your losses. But I don't know. I mean, if you guys remember back when, you know, the QS trade in February was out, this trade right over here, right? It was like pretty much from like here to here. It was like 46% profits. I would not stop talking about it. And then I'm sure if you were here all the way back in like, what was it, October, I guess? When Fisker was at the butterfly. Yeah, it was at the end of October. I would not stop talking about Fisker. So, and both the times I didn't stop talking about them, they went on crazy runs. And then even UWMC, I was talking about for a while. And then obviously we traded this move before it even happened. So Clover just looks pretty similar to them. I don't know if it has what it takes compared to the others. There are fundamental questions that have been brought up by certain institutions I'm not going to name, or research firms. I don't even know what to call them. Multiple now. At first it was just Hindenburg, but now there's like others. But we'll see. From a technical standpoint, it looks good. It's probably going to take, even if it's only going to be playing off of the technicals, for it to go all the way up here. In the short term, I think you might need a catalyst or something. To be honest, I don't know, because I just don't know how something can go up 86% in the short term without a catalyst. But definitely in the long term, it's very, very possible. That's why it's more of a long-term trade. But I mean, even the Fisker and the QS and the UWMC trades were long-term trades, but they played out within weeks because a lot of them did have some catalysts after. I mean, it's just a very crazy coincidence. Like, and Mitch Ray kind of talks about it, or he's kind of said this saying where it's like, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Like, charts, like, they tell you things, right? They give you the psychology of everybody trading that stock. You're visualizing what the buyers and sellers are thinking. And it's just crazy how many times I've seen good looking technical charts have catalysts come out like days after. But we'll see. I hope there's a catalyst. I don't know. From a fundamental standpoint, I would love to see a catalyst. But another thing I do like about Clover is, like, even on the low time frames, it's been looking very, very nicely. Like, not only is it set up very, very nicely on the daily, but look at this. On like the 15-minute chart, it's been in this channel pretty much since March 9th, and it's just creating higher highs and higher lows. It's yet to break a previous swing low, right? So if we look at it like this, like that, you've never, so you create a low, then you run up, then you make a higher low, then you make a higher high, then you make a higher low, higher high, higher low. This one was a little bit weird. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Hopefully higher low, but we'll see. But yeah, for the most part, except for like this little movement right over here off the neckline of the channel, and then like it came back down. Just a nice trend on the short-term chart or the low time frames. However, another reason you definitely want to see Clover continue this rally and not like break this demand line right here is because if it really cannot if Clover starts reversing before it gets to 1075, there is a chance of getting hidden bearish divergence, right? Which means you make a higher high on your MACD with a potential lower high on your price. So you definitely want to see Clover break over $10.80 before this 4-hour MACD goes back to red, so you don't have hidden bearish divergence. But again, you're still so far out, it's a little bit hard to tell. Yeah, that covers everything. Futures just went green, actually. They're still relatively flat, but they went from red to green. They were down like 0.05%. Now they're up like 0.05%, if that means anything. But I don't know. I mean, the S&P has been on a crazy, crazy run ever since I alerted what I thought could have been the potential bottom for the short term, and it turned out to be the potential, or it turned out to be the bottom for the short term. But yeah, for whoever's in the Discord or the Twitter, you got my alert when the S&P was all the way down here saying I thought that the short-term bear market was over. Pretty bold statement when everybody was panicking. I came out and said, I think the short-term bear market's over. I mean, I was going on Twitter and people were losing their minds. And all the other FinTwit accounts were nowhere to be seen. But again, the technicals tell you things. They don't always work out, but it's all probability, right? So that's that. Futures pretty much at session highs for the night. Bitcoin bouncing a little bit. And that really does recap everything. So keep hitting that like button. Let's get to 40 likes real quick. Hit that subscribe button. Join the Discord. The link's in the description. And if you want to send me a tip or get some merch, that's the pinned comment in the chat. I mean, I really just crushed through the daily recap today. So, and I'm not really planning on doing ticker requests for a whole entire hour because I'm also charting all day and I have one-on-one classes. So it's only been half an hour. I was trying to, like, because I realized I recapped the whole entire day super, super fast tonight. And we're only half an hour into the stream. And I usually try to stream for at least like over an hour. So I guess we'll see what everybody has to bring to the table in the chat. But yeah, I guess we'll see what you guys have. Drop some takers in the chat. Please don't request things that are 50% or things that I IPO'd like last week. I need data. I need consistency. I'm a very hardcore swing trader. I don't like doing, pump and dump stocks. I don't like craziness on the charts. I like a pretty solid trend that I can analyze. All right. So yeah. What else? I'm just gonna start with like the tickers I'm seeing I'm not gonna start from the tickers that were before. I'm just gonna start from the tickers that I see right now in the chat, just so I don't lose track of time. So even if you requested a ticker before, just drop it in the chat again, because I don't know if people requested tickers and then they left the stream. So like starting here is what I'm gonna be starting at George's message. CIG is where I'm gonna start. But yeah, start dropping some tickers into the watch list. And I'm also going to try and do one ticker per person just to kind of make it fair. Why do corrections occur? I mean, there's different reasons for corrections. It depends on the reason. It could be a natural correction, which just means stocks were super, super overbought. So many people were in profit and people just decided to take profits. Or it can be a catalyst correction. For example, like the 10-year yields are rising, inflation is rising. It just depends on what it is. But corrections, the market doesn't go in a straight line up, but overall, since the stock market was created, over time, it's definitely gone parabolically up. But of course, although it goes up over the long term, there are going to be corrections and dips and even crashes like 1929, like 2001, like 2008, like last year. You're going to have those times where some sort of maybe news-driven economic catalyst can really pull back the market, but statistically over time since the stock market was created, aside from those regular corrections, if you just wait long enough, the market tends to only go up, right? That's why 90% of investors, and that's just like a figure I'm using, are pretty successful, because it doesn't take too much skill. You can just throw money into an index and you wait 20 to 30 years, and pretty much most people who do that come out with a pretty solid return. However, aside from the last year, because the last year's been a very, very crazy bull market, most traders fail. Most day traders lose their accounts. Just statistically over time, you can look it up. Obviously, not including this last year because of how crazy it's been, but that's the difference between, trading and investing. Investing is more patience and waiting. Trading is more like skill and understanding why stocks are moving, why they are in the short term. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. Apple, gotta move it down on my watch list. XTRN. Just want to let you know I've been watching every stream upload and liking, just haven't been able to watch live as of late. Appreciate champ. Fully understand, Mason. I remember you. Appreciate all the support. Thank you. MKGI, ITRM, KMPH. All right, so we're gonna start with CIG. Definitely some classic bullish divergence. Why is this not working? All right, classic bullish divergence on the daily, on the MACD. And then also on the 4 hour, even though it's already been playing out, let me take that off the 4 hour chart. He definitely did have classic bullish divergence right over there. Okay. But again, this could turn into hidden bearish divergence. Unless, like if you stop rallying and you just fall again, this could turn into hidden bearish divergence. So you definitely don't want to stop here. Let's go back on the daily. You definitely are in the middle of a channel, honestly. So I'm not too sure how you would manage your risk unless you were kind of like zooming in, and then maybe you could throw your stop loss like under these lows. But that's still, even if you did that, you'd be risking like probably upwards of 10%. But to each their own, of course. Definitely would like to see like a more solid support created. You also need to break the 200-day moving average. So you do have resistances above you, even though you do have a gap fill at like 230-ish. So definitely has a shot. I'm just not too sure how you would go about managing your risk. That's probably very subjective in that type of a situation in the middle of a channel. LAC hidden bullish divergence on the daily, on the MACD, and on the RSI. On the 4 hour, classic bullish divergence. But again, just like the other chart, it can turn into hidden bearish divergence if you stop rallying. So you don't want to stop rallying here. Otherwise, you can definitely get hidden bearish divergence. All right. I like how you broke above 17 bucks. You definitely want to hold above it. You're only 30 cents above it, but I would really like to see this hold above 17. It's actually been using it as support now that it broke over it. So you definitely want to hold 17 there. AIV. I have no clue at this point. I mean, your support's 514 and then your resistance like 588, 585. I mean, but there's really not much of a pattern here. I think this was a better entry area at the 200-day in this channel. At this point, like people are probably in profit. What happens if they randomly take profits, or what happens if the hype continues? Just a 50-50. TRCH hidden bullish divergence on the daily. As long as you're above 222, you're good. So I don't know how you want to manage your risk right there, but it's possible depending on your risk tolerance. Just hold 222. Apple had this fake out, and I got faked out on that fake out on Apple. I mean, not personally, but the trade did. Personally, I actually walked away with profit from my options contracts. I mean, it got saved. The NASDAQ started rallying pretty much right when Apple was breaking this support, and then Apple just kind of went with the market. As long as you're above 121 on Apple, you look fine. 121 is your support. Next resistance is 127. XTRN, was that actually a ticker request? Let me see. XTRN. Yeah, XTRN does not show up for me on TradingView. Blue, nice move, but you know, I'm just not too sure how you manage risk because there was definitely much better entries. This is a very, very nice level of accumulation, right? You can see it's already starting to kind of go parabolic. Kind of look at it like this. So that level of demand is definitely increasing here. I like how it's breaking 454, but you know, there probably was much better entry areas, even though it looks like there's a massive gap that is approaching that gap fill zone, even though you still have like the 555 resistance. MKGI was up 22%. Like I said before, I can't really give you an answer when something already went up. I try getting in before the moves happen. Of course, it can continue going up if the hype continues, but what if people start deciding to take profits? That's just not how I trade. Don't hate me for it. Just everybody has their own style of trading. ITRM, hidden bullish divergence looks pretty interesting, not gonna lie. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily MACD, on the daily RSI. Let me set up straight. And yeah, I mean, as long as you can hold above 134, which you're already way above, you look fine. But you also still need to break 166. KMPH up 27% today. Not too sure what to tell you at this point. Of course, anything can happen. So that's just not how I trade. ACB. You say TA on KMPH on the weekly? Sure, we can look at the weekly. I didn't think about zooming out to it. Let's see, Tesla. It's already right there. HEC, EXTN, Mara. Let me move down. Let's just look at Tesla first, then we're gonna come back to KMPH. It's testing this supply line. I think I was saying, yeah, it kind of looks like, I mean, if you go on the 1 hour, it probably looks better. Kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders right there. Looks pretty similar to like the NASDAQ. If Tesla, let me go back to the 4 hour. If you can break this green supply line, which you were testing today, if you can break that, your next resistance is 745. You break 745, you have a gap fill to 777. So you're in an area where if you can just get a little bit higher, it would probably be considered a breakout. KMPH on the weekly. Give me 1 second. All right, KMPH on the weekly, you said, let's see. Huge bullish crab. Guess so. Let's see. Probably looking at it like this. That's the only way I could see a harmonic here. Yes, that checks out. Definitely this first part was for sure, but I mean, really, where would your PCZ be though? Like, I'm just not too sure if you actually hit a PCZ yet. I mean, you definitely could have, but you already passed. Like, all right, let me just show you the different potential PCZs. Your 1618, all right, from X to D would be all the way down at 14. It would be at negative, okay? So that's not even possible. I didn't even look at the price. Then your 2618 would be right over here. Your 2618 from B to D would be currently at where your price is, but you definitely fell under it, right? But if you want to ignore this whole entire range from 2019 to 2021, then sure, you can just go like this. And you are at the 2618, but then again, you're literally going to be ignoring this whole entire area, which was a very real area. So, I mean, I guess it could be argued, but it's just not it's not textbook at all because of really all of this, right? That just kind of messes with it, but I don't even really see divergence too much. I mean, if we're just, aside from a harmonic, if we're just looking at the weekly, then your support is still around like $6.25 to $7, and then your resistance, your major resistance is pretty much like $18, and you're still in the middle of the channel. So just not my style, but of course it can work. I mean, obviously anything can. ACB looks like it broke that demand line. And bullish divergence looks pretty similar to Tilray. I mean, they're the same industry, so it makes sense. Really close to confirming hidden bullish divergence on the daily MACD. 4 hour kind of some classic bullish divergence. Let's just zoom out again on ACB. So you're kind of in the middle of so you're kind of in the middle of a short-term range, and then you're also in the middle of a long-term range. So I'm just not too sure how you manage your risk, but if the hidden bullish divergence plays out, you can definitely rally. HEC. Could this be like a cipher maybe? Let's see. It's crazy how many SPACs like literally make a crazy bullish harmonic pattern within the first like 2 or 3 months of being a SPAC. Like Fisker, UWMC, Over. There's like way more, I just can't think of them, but a lot of SPACs just come out and they just create what's it called, harmonic patterns. $10 donation by NTRN FLX LBS or pounds 28. I'm not exactly too sure how to pronounce. You're definitely gonna have to tell me in the next time we have a class. But let me fix my audio real quick. Really appreciate the tip. If anybody else wants to send a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat. Fix up my audio real quick. Let's see what the message said. Cheers to Champion Vibe and putting in work daily and helping us all learn what it takes to change our lives. Cheers to the real ones like came into those who are here learning. Really appreciate that very, very kind message. And yeah, really appreciate all the support. The classes, I think we've done 2 classes now. They've been awesome. So keep it up. You're definitely crushing it. I see a lot of improvement. And thank you again very much for the 10. So HEC, I'm not too sure if that can really be considered a harmonic, but aside from it, your resistance is like 1048. This is probably, I don't even know if it's a SPAC. If it is a SPAC, like probably whatever the company is going to be matters more than any technicals right now, but I don't even see much of a signal from a technical standpoint. EXTN, I don't like how you broke out of this channel maybe like a rising wedge. I don't like how you broke out of it to the downside and you gapped down. What happened there? I'm not too sure. But you definitely want to stay above 323. That's your low from over here in November of last year and your low from over here in April of last year. So as long as you're over 323, technically you're fine, but I have no clue why this happened. Marathon, I think I lined up a trade for you all on stream. Never put it out, but that would have played out for a 46% profit if you watched it whenever I charted this, but probably a lot of correlation with what Bitcoin did over the weekend with the new all-time high. Don't know if there's also going to be correlation to the downside since Bitcoin's been falling, but we'll see. Your 4-hour hidden bullish divergence already played out. Your support is $40, right? It's your high from like this double bottom. Definitely want to hold 40, and then your resistance is 50. So 40 and 50, support and resistance. Yeah, we looked at Tesla, Westwater Resources. I've traded that a couple times before. Nate Sexton says, also appreciate you, grind. I don't know how you do this in classes. Keep rocking. Your following is growing a lot. Thank you very much for the support. We looked at HEC. Well, I'm pretty behind in the chat. I'm actually really behind. Yeah, keep hitting that like button. We need 6 more likes to hit 50 likes. Hit that subscribe button. And if you want to send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. That's the wrong ticker. Would you re-enter a trade that you broke even if the macro covers and technicals look good? Would you re-enter a trade that broke support, not until it reclaimed support? I don't know if you asked, you just said, would you re-enter a trade that you broke even? Like if you just broke even on it? Yeah, I mean, if it still looks good and you broke even and it starts pivoting again and it's still showing the same variables, yeah, you definitely could, for sure. All right, Westwater. I like how it's back above this green demand line. And that's really all I can give you. I mean, I'm not too sure. I guess your support could be 638 from like your previous resistance. I have no clue at this point though. It's really not much of a pattern I can work with here. Nice V-shaped recovery though. MRK. Classic bullish divergence, inverse head and shoulders. Okay. So kind of that's your breakout point. So you kind of broke out today. Kind of like this. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Kind of like an inverse head and shoulders right there. Classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour and the daily MACD. Was on your RSI. Kind of like Class C, classic bullish divergence on your RSI. Yeah, I like how you broke over 76. That's a very, very important area historically. And your next resistances would be $80 and then $83. But you definitely want to hold above 76, and you just broke over it. GRWG. You're at a make or break area. Like look, these highs from over here, that was also your high on this candle and your high today. So you want to break over 54. MVIS, hidden bullish divergence. Looks like it's a little bit late. There was definitely a better entry area. So your resistance is like 1881. NAKD. Not much of an edge on the 4-hour. But hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So many charts have hidden bullish divergence on the daily. And then like this whole entire range down here between 77 and 90 cents is like a major support range. Other than that, I don't really know. Yeah, CCIV is a great example for like breaking even and getting back in. BW. Still need 4 more likes to hit 50. I know we can do it. I know there's 4 people in here that are looking at the screen right now, and you know you did not hit that like button. So I'm going to make you feel guilty. Just takes 1 click. BW. Yeah, kind of looks like an ascending triangle. I don't know. Maybe it breaks out here. Maybe it doesn't. But looks pretty good. I mean, very nice trend for the long term. But it's at a major resistance, right? You definitely need to break over 760, and this thing could go, like literally this could go crazy if you can really break above 760. And really honestly, if you could just break these highs, right? If you can just get above $8 and hold above $8, like this thing could go crazy. That's like a very clear bullish continuation type of a structure, right? Like an ascending triangle, not perfect, but 3 touches on the bottom, 3 touches on the top, pretty decent. But of course, like who knows? What if it does this, right? What if it, uses this as a resistance and then it just comes to make another high low, right? So, you never know how this could play out or continue playing out. What's my opinion on penny stocks? I just don't really trade them. I'm a technical trader. Penny stocks definitely have a lot of, technicals work on technicals work on pretty much anything that has a chart because you're just visualizing the supply and demand. But technicals work best on high market cap, high volume stocks, simply because when they were really creating technicals, they were not looking at penny stocks. They were looking at the big names, back in the 20th century when they were creating technical analysis. That's what the whole entire study of technicals have been built off of, big stocks, right? And it's just like when you're trading like much smaller stocks, it's a very different float, right? And when you're using technicals, you're trying to understand why people are trading in certain ways, and it's hard to do that when there's just a small amount of people trading it. And then also just like the volatility, it doesn't really help too much with how I personally manage my risk. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people all over social media were talking about CCIV and lose way before anything. Ricey Boy 25 just joined the Discord and subscribed yesterday. Dig the stuff. Have you ever personally found a trade from comment suggestions? Chat. Somebody give Ricey Boy an answer. All the time. Like literally, maybe 30 to 40% of the trades are from people requesting tickers in chat, like how we're doing right now. And somebody just happens to request a ticker that looks amazing, and I see some things and I like it. Like, yes, all the time. That's like, it's awesome. That's one of the best parts about this whole entire community. It's not only me looking at the charts, it's all of us, right? We have 40 plus people in here looking at the charts. So imagine how many charts we can all find together. That's what makes this whole entire thing so cool. Richard, yeah, I mean, we'll see if it plays out. We'll see if that trade plays out. If it doesn't, don't. Again, it's all probability. So even if it doesn't play out, it's not his fault. It's not my fault. It's just probability, right? Everybody's making their own trades, but hopefully it works out. That would be awesome. But yes, to answer your question, pretty much every single week there's probably a new trade out because somebody requested in the chat. So learn as much as you can by watching the stream, watching the course, other sources of education. Learn as much as you can and bring good takers into the chat, and we can all help each other out. That's what we kind of do here. Guy in hat, calling him Guy in Crab. Yeah, we should call Guy in Hat Guy in Crab because of UWMC. But yeah, how long have I been live for? We need one more like to hit 50. Been live for like an hour. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna cut it there. I don't want to extend it too much. I think that really I spent a lot of this stream just kind of locked in. We went over probably like 40 charts this stream, and it's only been an hour. That's probably not the actual number, but you get the point. I don't know. I know this is like a little bit, no, it's much earlier than I usually end the streams, but I feel like we've already gotten a lot done, and there's still so much more left in the week. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. I mean, we can probably do like a couple more tickers. I'm just going to do the tickers that are currently in the chat. So if you drop a ticker right now, I'm probably not going to look at it. I'm just going to do these ones right here. All right, then we're going to cut it. But yeah, keep hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to send me a tip, it's a pinned comment in the chat. I'm just going to do the tickers I already see in the chat, and that's going to be it. All right, literally just 2 tickers right there. Soy, as long as you're above 1670, you're good. That's like your major area. That was your resistance, and then it was your support. You just need to hold above $16.70. Literally that simple. STIC, not a huge fan of the trend since it IPO'd, but yeah, it's not a lot of data for me to work with. You probably back above 1244, which was your support right here and right here. Okay, so I think that's going to do it. Pretty much live for an hour, so about like 20 to 30 minutes shorter than usual, but I feel like that's like the most we've ever gotten done in an hour. Like I literally spent half an hour straight just going over the market, Bitcoin, the trades, and then we did like another 20 minutes of chat requests. So I feel like we got to the point tonight. Didn't want to extend too long. Get some extra sleep tonight. Enjoy yourself. Go watch a nice show, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 EST. Trade safely tomorrow. Just that's it. Straight to the point. We got a lot of charts out the way. Hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join the Discord, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.